Since March of 1985, Thompson Speedway has played host to the Whelen Modified Tour. Tonight, an historic 750th race in series history plays out on the 5/8 mile oval. Tonight, Jeff Bodine, historic on hand to pace the field, and a throwback scheme driven by last year's winner, Patrick Emmerling, who led 150 laps en route to a win 1 year ago at Thompson. The man atop the championship point standings, well, that's Austin Beers as we enter the second half of the season. The pressure begins to mount for the young driver, as it does for Justin Bonsignor, who tonight will go for a record-tying 15th victory at Thompson Speedway to match the mighty Mike Stefanik. It's Thompson Speedway, it's the Whelen Modified Tour, and it's next on FloRacing.
There's nothing like it. You can hear the roar of the motors. You'll feel the ground shake beneath your feet. It's what modifieds are all about.
Cars, roar to life, we're underway. So much on the line for this one today.
Trying to do the crossover.
Right to the bottom.
Nice move.
Angle again on the front stretch. Looks to the inside. He throws the
Here
block.
comes Bonsignor.
He drives away. He will take the checkered flag. They are trying to make this track wide. To the tap to the bumper. Oh,
he's going to win one.
This is what it all comes down to.
Here they come at the stripe. It's going to be a drag race.
Down to the line. For the 750th time, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour competes tonight. In the 40th anniversary season, it is the Thompson 150 presented by Flow Sports. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Koss alongside Ben Dodge. And Ben, this August Summer Classic at Thompson has always been a fan favorite.
It has been a tradition. It is the biggest standalone one-day event to be held here in the season, this racetrack every season. And it's obvious why. The fans have come out in full force, and there's so much history that surrounds this event. You talk about 750, but besides all of that, most people don't realize what a grand facility this racetrack is. Located in Thompson, Connecticut, it opened in 1940 after a hurricane devastated the Honig Farm. The distance, of course, is .65. And, of course, this asphalt facility has provided some of the best competition anywhere in the country. Let's take a look at the race analysis now.
150 laps around this racetrack. Now, a lot of tires will be able to be taken by these teams. 2 tire changes per pit stop, but they've got 9 tires that they can take while on pit road.
Certainly do. And let's take a look back at the recent winners. Ron Silk, who's been blistering hot, he'll be starting up front in the competition as well today. He will be a guy to watch from the front row. Then, of course, Justin Bonsignor, October 2024, and Patrick Emmerling. He started that successful streak in search of a championship, and it began with a green to checker race right on this very night just 1 year ago.
I think we can see some of that again here tonight. A packed house here at Thompson Speedway. Crews getting set up along the pit lane. Momentarily, they'll be rolling the cars out onto the grid, and we'll continue on with tonight's Thompson 150 presented by FlowSports.com. Now, earlier today, we had one of NASCAR's most popular drivers, the 75th greatest drivers in NASCAR. Jeff Bodine was one of them. He sat down with Jesse Punch to get a little more history and a little more story behind the scenes here in modified racing.
Pacing the field tonight ahead of the Thompson 150, back in the #1 Big Red Machine, Jeff Bodine. Jeff, you're a legend here. That race car is a legend here. You both had so much success, so much history at Thompson. How special is this opportunity tonight?
It's very special. I mean, I was getting goosebumps coming up here, and when we drove in the garage area and they unloaded the car, I mean, I really got goosebumps. That car is special. It won 55 races. NASCAR main events in one season, which is more than anyone's ever won in a NASCAR series. So it is a very special car. I just happen to be the guy sitting in the seat.
Well, and it's clearly a special car because we're seeing a tribute paint scheme, not only tonight, but all 3 Thompson races this season. That #1 of Patrick Emmerling running a tribute to the Big Red Machine. What did you think the first time you saw that race car?
Well, I was impressed and proud that they thought enough of what we did up here in the series and modified to do that for myself, and plus Dick Armstrong and his wife Carol owned the car. His son Ricky picked me up at the airport, so we had a lot of stories to tell on the way here to the track, and because that car has a lot of stories. They're all good. We didn't lose too many races, and so we had a lot of fun. And really, what going for him tonight, and this is a modified racing. Every kind of racing changed. Nothing's the same. You're not, I'm not. I'm older, you're prettier. And so, hey, Doc. So I just happened to come along at the right time in modified racing in New England. Well, in all modified racing. Back then, guys were using cars out of scrap yards and stuff. And I mean, they were ingenious to what they were doing with their cars, but God gave me this talent to, and he told me, he said, you build a better car, it's easier to win. But he gave me all the brains to do that. It's amazing because I'm just an old farm kid from upstate New York. So how do you end up engineering and building cars that win races? But I give it all to God, and all the bad stuff, God, it's me, it's on me. All the good stuff's on you.
Well, for as much as modified racing has changed and this series has evolved over the years, this place, Thompson Speedway, is so classic. It is such a staple to this series. Its history hasn't changed at all. And tonight being the 40th anniversary season, the 750th modified race of all time, and to do it here at Thompson, how do you describe this place for race fans who have never been able to really experience Thompson Speedway?
Well, back when I came here, there was no beautiful garage areas. That was dirt out there. That asphalt road that you drove to your pit area, but the pit area was dirt. And around the track there weren't walls, there were sand piles. And they were really good because you could slide off in his sand pile and not hurt your car much. So we liked that. But no, this place has changed so much. The grandstands, the whole facility, the road course they built here. You know, that's what I do in Florida. I build with some friends road course cars for Sebring and Daytona. And we're going to come up here next year and run a race up here because this is a great venue. Of course, the weather this time of year is wonderful. But I can't believe how many friends I've seen from the past. It's really been really nice. That's almost been better than the race car.
Well, your #1 Big Red Machine is out there on display in front of the racetrack. I've seen you out there all day long with race fans coming by, admiring the car, admiring you and the legacy that you both left here at Thompson. When you think about getting behind the wheel of that race car again tonight, what emotions come to the forefront for you?
Well, I had to drive it from here out to the autograph spot and all through the garage area. And man, I was saying, don't stall this thing, don't stall the engine. They're going to laugh at you. So I didn't stall it, so I made it out through there. But, and you know, I haven't stopped smiling. I mean, this is such a thrill, such a nice feeling to know that people actually care about what you did in your career and how you helped this division expand, and I'm just very blessed to be a part of it.
Well, much like you cruising in that race car here through the garage, muscle memory kicks back in. We're excited to see you out there. Just don't let it kick in too much when you're taking those hot laps out there. I don't want to see you getting too fast in that race car.
Come on, Jesse. People want me to give it a little jab.
You know what? You're right. Put on a show.
Okay.
It's your night, Jeff. You put on a show. Have some fun out there.
Thanks.
Oh, Jeff Bodine is now on the circuit here at Thompson, and what a historic moment to see this race car with Jeff Bodine behind the wheel back on the track here at Thompson.
It certainly is, and so much history surrounds it. Dick Armstrong, new style jewelry out of Bellingham, Massachusetts, started literally a revolution in modified racing. Jeff Bodine came up with this particular car. A gentleman by the name of Hop Harrington was instrumental in building it at the time, and whenever this Big Red Machine showed up at this 5/8 mile facility, it was the car to beat Joe. Tonight, it will lead the field, and you heard Jeff. He'd like to run with the field for tonight's presentation. So much history, and of course, tonight's event is a tribute car in the field that led every lap 1 year ago. Well, maybe it could be another year for the #1 to be up on the top of the charts and the board.
We'll have more of that when we come back. The cars will begin to roll from the pit area. We'll have the starting lineup in a moment from Thompson.
Rusty Wallace here. Invite you to join me on the Sturgis Buffalo Chips Rusty Wallace Charity Ride, presented by Harley-Davidson on Friday, August the 8th, during the 85th Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Ride with me and my friends on a route I personally selected through the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. You also have a chance to win a custom-designed Harley-Davidson built by Southern Country Customs. All proceeds from the ride and auction will benefit the NASCAR Foundation and Special Olympics of South Dakota. Sign up now and reserve your spot today at rustywallaceride.com.
Well, the cars are rolling from the garage area, getting ready for tonight's Thompson 150, presented by FloSports.com. And a capacity crowd here at Thompson Speedway, ready to watch the Whelen Modified Tour.
They certainly are. This is home base. This racetrack has hosted more Whelen Modified Tour events than any other racetrack. It's obvious to see why. The support of the fans and, of course, the premier division of NASCAR, the Whelen Modified Tour. They're all coming off turn number 4. Let's go down and take a look at the story on today's pole position contender, Ron Silk.
On the pole tonight here at Thompson, Ron Silk, first time ever leading the field to green here at Thompson. Ron, plenty of wins here at this track. You know what it takes to get it done. Does this fast race car have what it takes tonight?
I mean, you never know until you get out there and see what you got, but I've been happy with it all day. Had a lot of speed in practice, drove really well, so looking forward to giving it our best shot.
Now, you won the race last time we were here competing back in April. What can you tell me about anything you guys have been able to carry over into tonight's competition?
Yeah, I mean, we have our car set up pretty much the same. Weather conditions are obviously a little different. It was really cold last time we were here, but happy with how it's driven all day, and we think we got a good shot at it.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That's Ron Silk. He's looking for win number 9 here tonight at Thompson Speedway.
Well, thank you, Jesse. It's Ron Silk, who earned his 14th career pole. He'll lead him around to the green flag tonight. A strong front row. Chase Dowling is there. Luke Baldwin tonight will start 3rd, and Justin Bonsignor starts 4th.
Let's go back to row number 3. John McKennedy, a former Whelen Modified Tour champion. Kyle Bonsignor will be starting back in 6th. Austin Beers for 7th, and Matt Swanson for 8th.
Defending race winner Patrick Emmerling led the entire race last year, starts 9th. Eric Burnt, part-time runner, in the field starting 10th. Jake Johnson, Matt Hirschman, 11th and 12th. They'll be factors tonight.
13th starting position, Steven Kopsick. The rookie outside will be Trevor Catalano, a previous winner already this season. Tommy Catalano starts 15th. Craig Lutz is 16th. Back in 17th is Jacob Lutz, car 14. And Teddy Hodgson, the 4th, will start back in 18th.
Old Blue with Tyler Ripkemo will roll off 19th tonight alongside Dylan Slepian, Eric Goodale, and Andrew Kraus in row 11.
Then back in the next row, it'll be Tyler Berry with car 59, Max Zeckham with the 20. Then we go to Ken Heggie, the 18, and Brian Sonez with car number 12, and Mike Marshall will pick up in starting position number 27.
Well, Ben, we got a great opportunity to welcome in a guest to our booth here as part of the FloRacing broadcast. Steve O'Donnell, the president of NASCAR, is with us here tonight. Steve, you look back at modified racing that started on the beaches of Daytona back in 1948. Tonight, we celebrate the 750th Whelen Modified Tour event. What a special night it is.
It's awesome. It's a pleasure to be here. Incredible crowd tonight as well. And this is our oldest division, right? And I think it's deserving to be here tonight to celebrate our 750th. And the crowd that showed up is a testament to the great racing each and every week that the mods put on.
You know, the investment that NASCAR has put in the Whelen Modified Tour has become amazing in 2025. Big money is up on the line, but that's not the only story. It's the heritage. They are really focusing on what makes this the fastest in NASCAR today.
Absolutely. You know, if you ask anyone in Daytona Beach, you know, who puts on the best racing consistently, it's the modifieds. Credit to Joey Denowitz and his team for really focusing 25 and beyond on where we want to go with the mods. You know, there's a focus for NASCAR and getting back to our roots. It's where we belong, and being at Thompson, terrific night. Great to be here, and really happy that the mods are still part of NASCAR and will be for a long, long time.
The National Series certainly is a premier division, but this is where so many talented names come from. The Modified Series, whether they be mechanics, drivers, current and past, drivers like Jeff Bodine with us tonight. It's got to be special just to be able to see and be part of this particular program for that reason.
1000%. You know, this is where a lot of people get their start. This is also where a lot of people make names for themselves in careers, which is great as well. But, you know, seeing drivers come up through the system, the fans that we have throughout this region are incredible. It's the most popular area for NASCAR in general, and then seeing them on Sunday compete, whether it be on a pit box or in the car, is fantastic.
You know, we also want to mention so much history came from the clubhouse, from this Honig family, 4 generations. It is a great day for modified racing, and one that we'll always remember. Thank you for being a part of it and doing so much for our sport and for modified racing.
Hey, thanks to you and everybody at Flo, too, for getting the mod story out there. We really appreciate it.
All right, Steve O'Donnell, president of NASCAR, joining us here tonight. Before we go green, Ben, for the 750th race of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, a special night indeed, and the lights on the pace car are out. We are ready to see the green flag and history in the making here tonight in Thompson.
Well, the field heads down into turn number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, get up and wave, make some noise, because we are about to send them off. 750 races, Thompson Speedway is the showcase here tonight.
Off turn number 4, Ron Silk, the pole sitter in the outside lane, sees a green flag, and for the 750th time, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour is underway.
There's no question about it. Silk takes advantage of things initially on the start, but down the back straightaway, Monsignor runs directly in the tire tracks with car 51. Remember, Silk is not a regular on the Whelen Modified Tour this season, and there is a rivalry between him and Justin Bonsignor.
Well, Justin Bonsignor has a lot to play for tonight as he rides there in second, but we'll go back a little deeper in the field, and it's John McKennedy trying to work the inside lane. The only car on the bottom so far in the early stages. He's working underneath the point leader, Austin Beers.
He's moving in to challenge with the Baldwin machine. Can't quite get the job done. All of a sudden, Matt Swanson is there. And here comes Austin Beers. Now, we talked to their crew chief. They also said the same thing, that they want to be there at the end, but they say that pit stops are crucial in this one. But Kennedy still works the bottom. Eric Burt, a surprise earlier today, and then right there with him is Jake Johnson.
Boy, Jake Johnson and John McKennedy have not had any love lost between the two of them in recent races, and they are right next to each other on the racetrack. We go back up front. Ron Silk, the race leader from the pole position, and Justin Bonsignor, who's got 14 victories here at this racetrack, one shy of the record laid down by Mike Stefanik at 15. He rides in second.
He certainly does, and he's not just riding. He is trying to stay within striking distance from, of course, Ronnie Silk. The mastermind behind him is Phil Moran, as that car is hooked up today. Surprise, folks, in the final lap of practice. His first lap was not good, but when it came to time trials, lap number 1, he threw away, and by lap 2, he was at the top of the chart.
Justin Bonsignor, Ryan Stone, his crew chief, did not think that they had a tremendous amount of speed in that 51, and they said before qualifying they were going to take a swing at it, and so far that worked because they're up to second. You go deeper into the pack, outside lane, the advantage here, the 7 New York, Luke Baldwin, and Eric Burt in the 11 car, Ben. He was second quick in practice earlier today, and he has had good showings at this racetrack.
He certainly has. Now remember, there's a race within a race here, Joe, as well. There's the Connecticut point standings that is so important, with a lot of extra money for those drivers that have been supporting this program from the state of Connecticut. Eric Burt is one of those contenders. He runs right in the tire tracks of Luke Baldwin. Not enough steam as yet, but he is definitely coming.
Eric Burt has had a lot of success at Thompson Speedway in weekly divisions, has raced here a very long time, a Connecticut native. He's part of that FloRacing Connecticut Short Track Challenge. $25,000 in bonus money and prizes up for several of the drivers in the field. Eric Burt is one of them. The Gary Casella-owned 25 of Matt Swanson, another along with Dylan Slepian and Max Zackham, some of the cars that are competing for that money too. So there's a lot on the line here, and Eric Burt is a driver to keep your eye on in that 11 throughout the night.
You know, a guy that runs very well here but has not always had a lot of success is Jake Johnson, car number 07. Johnson is currently being shown in the 9th position as John McKennedy is trying to work him over. It just doesn't work for them. We drift back just a little bit. Burt is there. Behind Eric Burt is the Jake Johnson car, and Matt Hirschman just out of the top 10. Now, the real story with Matt Hirschman is an interesting one. As many times as Hirschman has won, he has not been able to win a Whelen Modified Tour event at the Speedway. So tonight, he's hoping to change all of that. Trevor Catalano is here in 12th. Craig Lutz is up to 13th. Steven Kopsikin in 14th. Right now, it appears that Luke Baldwin's got nothing but a mirror full of Eric Burt, lap after lap, single file, the story in that pack of cars.
At 7 New York, Luke Baldwin has shown a lot of talent and a lot of prowess through the early stages of the season. He's under attack, though, as Eric Burt looks to the inside of the back straightaway, settles back in line, and follows in his tire tracks. Now, Ben, one story that we were watching when they came to the green flag, the one car, last year's winner of Patrick Emmerling, had to go to the back of the pack for unapproved adjustments. So he started dead last in the field today. He's moved up to 21st in the first 13 laps. But ironically enough, the same thing happened at New Smyrna Speedway to start the season, and it ended with a victory. Meanwhile, trouble on the front straightaway. Eric Burt across the left front tire of Luke Baldwin goes airborne, hard lick for the 11 of Eric Burt, and heavy damage also on the 7 New York of Luke Baldwin.
Well, you can see literally the damage done to the right front. Peel back at one point. We saw the 11 car literally up on top of the wheel of the Baldwin machine. Tight Racing and the Mizzie's Construction Ferguson independent car is there, and now it looks like that Luke Baldwin is trying to get back to pit road with car number 7 New York, and really a tough break there. We were watching those two cars fighting lap after lap. They were, as we were saying, running in the bottom of the top 10 at this particular point. So car number 11, Eric Burt, and there is the Luke Baldwin machine. The Luke Baldwin car does not appear to have a lot of damage. The rub rail on the right side is laid down, and of course the right front tire is flat. So that's the first car to head down on pit road as we speak.
That Nerf bar is going to have to be fixed. It's got to be on the race car. It's pointed downward, so they'll have to get that fixed. Tough break for Luke Baldwin. We spent some time earlier talking about the history of this track. Back in March of 1985 was the first Whelen Modified Tour event here at Thompson. His grandfather, Tiger Tom Baldwin, was in the race that day, driving a 7 New York that his grandson now drives nearly 21 years later,
you know,
or 40 years later.
There's another interesting fact. When the Honig family decided to repave this racetrack, the first driver that went onto the racetrack was Tom Baldwin Sr. to test it. Here's the situation. It appears that Eric Burt, right to his outside, was the number 7, and of course spotters tried to clear, and then contact was made, Joe, and the end results is some extensive damage. There's a look at it again. And we can see Eric Burt just kind of had no place to go, ran out of room. Baldwin was there, and the two came together, and the end results was the number 11 car suffering the worst of the wear. Baldwin is able to drive away. Tough break for Eric Byrne, who had such a strong performance in practice and in qualifying here today.
Discussion underway on the pit lane now as work continues there on the 7 New York of Luke Baldwin. Right front has been replaced, but the work has slowed.
And, of course, we are under caution here at Thompson. And, of course, Whelen Engineering, trusted to protect first responders, the first name in light, sirens, and safety services used throughout the world. American-made Whelen Engineering. Tom Baldwin looking over the situation, and now they're being told that they can go out and start their work. And, of course, he is the leader of the vessel in this one. They're jacking up the right side rub rail there and the right front tire on the car as well.
There's Tom Baldwin, frustrated here with the early incident here on the opening 15 laps or so, the first caution of the day. You get a good look at all the action happening down there along the pit lane as work continues on that 7 New York team to see what they can do to get that car repaired. Now, a couple of other cars will take the opportunity to come down pit lane here under this first caution, and one of them is a 46 car of Craig Lutz. It was a surprise, Ben, to see how that team struggled here earlier today, because when you look at the cars in the series, Craig Lutz has led some of the like 350 laps recently. He's led a lot here at Thompson. To see him struggle was kind of a surprise.
Really was. Jacob Lutz, no relations there, car number 14. He is back down on pit road, checking things out. The Baldwin car goes around, makes the loop, and comes back in. Eric Goodale's number 38 car also number 58 car, also visiting pit road as we speak. Teddy Hodgson unloaded that car, was very quick in practice. They were making some adjustments on it to get it quicker. Max Zackham's car number 20 also down on pit road. It appears that there are just two cars left on pit road, the 7 of Luke Baldwin and the number 20. Works